Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are strapping in for a really essential deep dive into a topic that affects everyone: how to spot a shady retail website. We've been looking at the tactics used by some of these fraudulent sites, kind of like the ones in the style of Dripnflipau.com, to build a checklist for you.
Exactly. And our mission today is pretty simple. We want to just distill the most important red flags, give you a shortcut, really, so you don't just know what to check, but you understand why it works. It cuts through all the noise.
Okay, let's unpack that. Where do we start? I guess with the website itself.
Right, the first
Yeah.
impression, the digital facade, as we call it.
And some of these sites look incredibly polished. But you're saying if you zoom in a bit, the cracks start to show.
They do. Look at the images themselves. I mean, actually zoom in. Do you see any brand tags? Any watermarks? Are there even clear options for size and color?
And if not, it probably means the images were just lifted from somewhere else.
That's usually the case. And while you're looking, pay attention to the prices. This is where their logic just completely falls apart.
Oh, the pricing is fascinating. That pattern of, extreme consistency.
Yeah. If you see item after item, a watch, a jacket, whatever, and it's all priced at exactly $29.99 or $59.99.
That's a huge alarm bell. But why that specific pricing? Why is that the tell?
Because they aren't managing a real inventory. They just pick these low, simple numbers that are designed to make you impulse buy. It's a shortcut for them to list thousands of fake items without actually having to value anything. If it seems too good to be true, it's because it's optimized to trick you.
That makes so much sense. Okay, so that's the facade. Let's talk about identity. Real businesses have a legal footprint, right?
They have to. But scam sites, they try to exist in a total vacuum. The first place to check for a pulse is the very bottom of the page, the footer.
The footer test. So what am I looking for? Terms of service.
Exactly. Terms of service, a real privacy policy, maybe even a physical address. If that identity is just missing or it's generic gibberish, that's super suspicious.
And then you take that search outside the website itself.
You have to. That's the external presence test. Real brands don't just live on their own domain.
So if I can't find a functioning Instagram page or, any real reviews on Google, that's the red flag.
It's a critical warning. And hey, if you want a technical shortcut, run a domain lookup. You can see when the site was registered.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah. If it claims to be this huge retailer with hundreds of glowing reviews, but the domain is like 3 weeks old, that mismatch is all the evidence you need.
Okay, let's move to where it gets really critical.
Mm-hmm.
The transaction traps. Security first. We all hear, look for the padlock.
Right, the SSL padlock. And if you don't see that little lock, and the URL doesn't start with HTTPS.
It's not encrypted.
Not at all. They aren't even trying to protect your data. Just avoid it immediately. And also, just pay attention to how the site feels to use.
What do you mean?
A lot of these scam sites are really poorly built. They get super glitchy, especially on a mobile phone.
Why do they break on mobile?
Because they're often built with these crude templates that are designed to hide where your payment is actually going. On a smaller screen, the bad coding just breaks. It might reveal some weird third-party payment page or just push aggressive pop-ups. Anything that feels glitchy or tries to rush you to pay, that's a sign to stop.
Okay, so last point. Reviews.
Mm-hmm.
How do we tell the difference between real social proof and just propaganda?
You have to look for proof that the site can't control. Fake sites will have these repetitive, over-the-top positive reviews, maybe with stock photos.
Right.
You need to go find real user photos. Or, better yet, unboxing videos on YouTube or some other independent forum. If all the proof only exists on their website, it's not proof. It's just advertising.
And I guess that applies to shipping information, too.
Oh, absolutely. Be so wary of vague promises like standard international shipping with no mention of a real courier or tracking. You're probably paying for something that doesn't even exist.
So when it all comes down to it, for you, the shopper, it really boils down to two key questions.
Mm-hmm.
Are these deals just too good to be true? And can I find any trace of this company outside its own digital walls? If the answer is yes to the first or no to the second, walk away.
Precisely. And knowing these specific things lets you move beyond just a vague fear about security and lets you actively hunt for the signs of deception. It turns critical thinking into your best defense.
Stay safe and informed. And here's a final thought for you to consider. Beyond just retail, where else could you apply this same strategy? Checking for an external presence, looking at the footer for a missing identity. Think about news sources, social media accounts, even financial advice. We'll see you on the next deep dive.